It's not funny, guys. How is everybody's day going? Ours is going pretty good.
Hey guys, what's up?
I like your shades.
Thank you. Okay, listen, I'm wearing the Heather Gay Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Bermuda trip shades that she had on the episode. And when I saw them, I'm like, oh my God, I got these literally over, like, I think it was like a year ago. So this was before their Bermuda trip. And they're very much like Kim Kardashian cunt sunglasses. And when I saw her wear them, I'm like, amazing, because I had just worn them to the Miami trip that we did. So I'm like, okay, perfect. We're going to talk about Salt Lake City, which we haven't been able to talk about that much because there's so many shows on Bravo right now, like on Bravo and then now on Peacock. There's a lot going on. So I needed to wear these because I also did not want to do any eye makeup, and I don't have to do any eye makeup like this. So I just did my lips.
It's very Art Basel. It's giving me like Art Basel, like you have your own panel.
I have my own exhibit.
Yeah.
With my shirt that's also a turtleneck. I'm like sweating hard. You guys, we're in Florida, mind you.
I love it. I thought about that too. I'm like, shit, this shit looks hot. Like,
yeah, no, I'm doing it for the fashion. We were supposed to have a guest, but we don't know where they are right now. Patreon knows who it is, but we don't want to say it on the main podcast because we want to surprise you guys. Yeah. Because you guys love the guests that we're going to have on. I'm sure that they're going to have, a really good excuse as to why they couldn't show up, or it could be like a time change thing because hint, they're not in Florida. So, I think they're on the West Coast, and yeah. But when they come on, you guys can confront them if you want to. Yeah. And we'll just have a good time. Regardless, that's the biggest thing is that we want to have a good time.
Going for sure. Shout out to them because we really like these particular guests.
Yeah. And they've shown us love. So, like, even if they don't get to come on, like, thanks for the followers. Like, shout out to y'all for that. Like, gang for that. But we still have things to get to. Obviously, this is the Bravo episode. Hopefully, you were able to watch the pop culture episode or listen to the pop culture episode on Wednesday. I warned you guys that we are in Mercury retrograde. So this is exactly what's happening right now. Communication issues, most likely.
Oh my God, you said it. I didn't even think about something. I didn't even think about it until you just said it.
You know what? I've been being very irresponsible all week, and I'm like, I don't know, I guess it's retrograde because, like I told you guys, it's retrograde. So I feel like they can blame it on retrograde, and we'll understand because everything happens during retrograde, you guys. Mm-hmm. But anyways, let's get into it. Like, we can do some Bravo Liberty.
Did you see the video of Kim and Kroy?
That shit was wild. If you guys don't know the video that we're referring to, it's Kim Zolciak, Kroy Biermann. Obviously, they've been on and off, and we saw that there was an incident in which the police have been back and forth there multiple times, but there was an article that said on TMZ that the police came there because one of the kids called the police because they were arguing like all day for hours apparently. So we got to see body cam footage of that exact argument, and it was chilling. What was your thoughts on that?
Maybe play some audio for y'all.
You're not going anywhere, so he's crying right now. It's just too much. He's fucking mentally ill.
You authorization to be in my home.
You're gonna get put for it. Listen to me very
I did not give you authorization. I know my rights. I know my rights.
Okay, then stop talking if you know your rights. I'm gonna tell you your rights. I'm gonna inform you.
There's a lot going on.
A lot going on. Kroy is like, my life is over. And then the police officer is like, calm down. And I'm like, his life is over. He's like, my life is over. And then they go over to Kim in the car, and she's like, I just came for a hair appointment. And when I came to the hair appointment, he didn't let the kids in the house. He wants to get the kids out of the house, blah, blah, blah. So one of the kids, we don't know who, probably the oldest, the poor oldest between them two, not Brielle or Ariana. They're the oldest one, probably, if I could guess who called the police, it was one of them, because that's very scary for a child to witness, because I didn't even recognize Kroy. Kroy was, first of all, he was brunette.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my whole life he's been blonde. Like, does he dye his hair?
Like specifically, like maybe like a ginger blonde, I want to say.
Yeah, like a strawberry blonde.
A strawberry blonde. Yeah, now he just looks like Buzz Lightyear, but like the new version, you know, when he's in his human form.
Yeah, hate that one. He was very stressed out. I'm just saying, like, that was not, I'm glad that shit flopped. I hate when Disney movie flops, but like, I was just, ooh, that was
You
just
didn't
terrible.
like it? Oh,
No, it was boring. It was terrible.
You did say that when it came out, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, no, take it back. That'll be good. Going. You know what? We'll be back to round up some things that came out
I just
this
want to
year.
say though, and we'll talk about it more on the podcast. Did you see that Kung Fu Panda trailer?
No, Kung Fu Panda what?
Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out.
With Angelina Jolie and Jack Black?
I don't know about Angelina Jolie.
Hold
They didn't say
on,
nothing
yeah,
about Angelina,
no,
but they
hold
did say
on.
about Jack Black. Like Jack
Kung
Black,
Fu Panda 4 is coming
Kung Fu
out.
Panda 4.
Hey guys, you know Shrek 5, was it leaked though? Because Shrek 5 got leaked through an intern.
I don't know if it was leaked, but I seen it on Twitter and I was like, wait a minute, what?
And it wasn't fan made, it was official.
This looks like real deal.
Because my sister literally always shares these fan made.
If it is fan made, I'm gonna be even more impressed.
No, look, it's official. Kung Fu
Okay.
Panda 4 trailer.
Oh my gosh, I got so scared for a second.
Jack Black, okay, he's on it. Viola Davis is on it, and she's gonna play like a chameleon. Yo, I don't see anything about Angelina Jolie. Was she even in the first one, or did I just make that up? She was in something.
No, Angelina Jolie was definitely in one of them, either the first or the second one, because I remember her character was very important. Like
Exactly, and that's why like I want to know. Guys, okay, yeah, we gotta talk about that Wednesday pod. We're very into DreamWorks and Pixar and all that good stuff. And also, I gotta tell you guys about Invincible, like on Amazon Prime. I've been wondering for weeks, like, where the fuck is the 5th episode? Come to find out, I talked to my friend and he's like, oh, Amazon split it into 2 parts. How the hell are you gonna split an animated show into 2 parts, 1 and 2, and not tell nobody? Like, you could have told me at the end of the episode that it was gonna be split into 2 parts. I'm looking up the return date. Early 2024. Early 2024 could be anywhere from January to March. It was 4 episodes. What do you need a break for? It's animation. It's based on the comic book. Just put the damn pictures on the show and like that's it.
They're just trying to get more bang for their buck, I feel like. I don't know what it is with the whole break thing, but
that's what they did with The Crown. I haven't watched The Crown, but I think today is, I think they released the final episode of The Crown. They released that Bridgerton will be coming.
I'm like, bro, just put the shit out.
Right, like. Anyways, this is too much non-Bravo things. I'm sorry, you guys. I know that you come to this one for Bravo things, so we got a lot for you. That we started off with that Kroy and Kim video, very chilling, very heartbreaking. I actually like didn't laugh at that one. Oh, okay. I chuckled at the fact that Kim was like, "I have my hair appointment," but like I just feel like she's pregnant. No,
because I've seen this thing about her sharing those little clickbait things.
Oh, okay. No, this is what happened. She posted to her timeline. Her daughter was having a baby. She's like, comments, Kim can't wait to be a grandma. We all go to her link in bio and she's talking about when one of her children have a kid. And I was just like, you literally.
Yeah, and then a sonogram says her name. So that's why everybody's like, wait, what? It's too much. Kim, I don't know. Somebody call her and put her on Housewives of Atlanta, please.
I know.
That's what it really is.
I need her back, actually.
She's like, I need something. Give me something.
Actually, Ronnie is calling me right now. Let me answer the phone.
Are we gonna do this live?
Yeah. Hey, babes.
I'm so sorry. I'm sitting here recording with Ben, and I just happened to pick up my phone and see your text. I'm so embarrassed.
I felt like we had to be a miscommunication of like the times, but then we went back in our messages and we were like, no, we said 6:30.
I said I wrote down in our calendar for us 5:30 to 6 p.m. But then I guess something happened where I asked Ben earlier, and he's like, no, it's 7:30. So I was like, oh, I always fuck up the time zones. So that's me.
Oh, I feel
I did
you.
it the wrong way. You can't hear Ben, but Ben's like, you did the time zone the wrong way. Can we jump on with you right now, or did we totally fuck this up?
No.
We started. Aaron, let me ask Aaron. Aaron, what do you think? Like, we didn't even get into the things we wanted to talk about yet, right?
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, y'all, come on.
Okay, we'll be right there. We're coming on right now.
Appreciate it. Okay. Bye.
I guess you can
I
Dylan.
really want to make this a part of the podcast, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do.
We should just leave it in because things happen.
Things
And
happen,
I really
guys.
want them to come
And this
on.
is real life shit. Like,
Yeah.
you guys, if you guys want something that's like
Polished.
produced and all of that and polished,
Y'all gotta go to the vial files for that.
I almost said something. But guys.
Dylan, can you hear us? Can you see us? What should we do? Like, should we just leave this in and we'll just like pick up where we are, or like, Dylan, are you paying attention?
Dylan's here.
Jumping on.
Hey.
Yeah. As soon as they jump on, I will totally let them in, and they just jumped in. So
Wait, how long do you have? How long can this episode be? Like, what is your hard out time? Because I know that we want to ask some questions about them, and then we also want to do like a little recap, so it can be like 45-ish minutes. But I don't know how much time you have.
that's totally fine with me.
Okay, so you're good until like 7:50.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Here. I'll
Let
jump-
us know if you can't, because this is literally your time. We want to be respectful of that.
Oh no, this is totally great. I'm having a great time.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So sorry.
Hi, sorry
Look
about
who
that.
he
Hi,
is.
Oh my
Hi.
god.
We got our
Biggest
calendar was all
bimbo.
wrong.
I'm
We
so
thought it was
sorry. This is my bad.
We thought it was still like 90 minutes from now.
Listen,
Sorry about
you're
that.
fine because I do it all the time. You actually called us while we were recording, so we were
Yeah.
wondering if we should leave that in
Can we
to
use
make
it?
it more realistic. Do you guys
Yes.
mind?
Yes, I'll
Okay.
just
Yeah, it's
apologize for
fine.
being a fucking bimbo because I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
It's so
I
fun.
felt like it was like a time miscommunication. Where are you guys based?
I'm in Los Angeles.
I'm in Austin.
Austin. What time is it there?
Here it's 6 now, 6:07 or whatever. But I wrote the time down properly in the calendar. But earlier, I think whatever I did to the time zone, it showed. Who fucking knows?
You know what it is?
It
Because
happens.
wait, yeah.
feel you.
Also, like with Apple or whatever, sometimes it like does predictive time zone. It's like, oh, or if you write something in one time zone, it thinks, I don't know.
It should
it's
happen,
Steve
and we're
Jobs.
glad that like you are able to join us because we didn't tell our main feed members because we didn't want to be embarrassed, but we told our Patreon members we're gonna have Watch What Crappens on the show. Do you guys have any questions for them? So like I'm just like, okay, at least we didn't tell y'all who's here, but guess what, you guys, like they joined us. We have you guys, and we just want to know, like, are you going to be able to be around for like around 45 minutes? Because we want to go
Absolutely.
over these things with you guys.
Yes.
Yes, totally.
Okay,
Whatever you
perfect.
want. Yes,
Okay,
as long. And thank
perfect.
you so much for having. Sorry again. Take whatever you need. We'll be here as long as you want.
Oh my God, I love white guilt. Okay, so we were just talking about some Bravo. We have a segment called Bravo Liberty where we just go through a few stories and give our thoughts on them. And then we'll go, we don't do recaps. Everyone here has seen the episodes, so we just want to comment on them. And I feel like you, Ryan Bailey, Kendrick of Reality and Comics 2, y'all do a great job of literally like breaking down the show like that. Me and Aaron, we just want to give y'all our
Yeah, we
opinion.
just
So
want to talk shit and just.
we just
say,
want to talk shit about
for
it.
it. Yeah, we're
That's it. We
down.
just want to giggle.
Yes.
Okay, so we were just talking, just rounding out thoughts on that Kroy and Kim video where
God.
it was body cam footage of the police going to Kroy and Kim's house. I'm like, first of all, why is Kroy not blonde? And second of all,
Yes.
what the hell is Kim doing in the car? And she's like, I just got my hair done. And I'm like, it's just so much. Thoughts on
Stuck
that?
here for 2 hours in the driveway. Yeah, I was shocked. First of all, it didn't even seem real. It felt like the sort of thing that you would see on TV when Kroy's like, "My life is ruined. How? Why am I yelling? Because my life is ruined. There's no money. My wife is sleeping with another guy. One day we're divorced. Another day we're not divorced." I'm like, is this an FX comedy or something right now? I could not believe it.
I've gotten to the place with those two where it's like a Britney Spears acting crazy video where everybody's like, "Oh my God, you guys, leave Britney alone. Is Britney crazy? Like, we can't talk about mental health. Is she on drugs? We can't talk about this." And then it's like thousands of comments of people like arguing whether we can talk about Britney being crazy, even though Britney's like holding up a knife, like with her eyeliner all over her face. I feel like I've had enough. I just click on something else. Like, Kim and Kroy are trashed. They're gonna be trashed. They've always been trashed. My only shock is that they didn't show the dog crates with the kids inside of them, because you know that's happening in that garage.
So where are we with, especially the state of Atlanta now? What are you feeling about Kim coming back to the show? Yes or no?
Yes.
I would say that, like, in general, I'm not in favor of giving Kim Zolciak opportunities, but I also am in favor of helping out Real Housewives of Atlanta in any way possible. So if it takes Kim Zolciak, then I will take Kim Zolciak. Because honestly, as much as I hated to admit it, that scene this last season when the OGs got together for dinner, I really loved that scene. And I felt like there was like a real chemistry between those women. And I was like, maybe we do have to have Kim back.
She was like a moth against the door. She just kept doing this with her hair and like looking around, licking her lips, like nothing's happening with my house. I mean, I can't even believe people say something's happening with my house. She's just so crazy, and it's my favorite kind of drag. I just want to see Kim dragged. Like, I don't even care about RuPaul's Drag Race. I just want to see Kim get dragged. That's my sports. What do you guys think?
It's very organic, I think. Even that moment that you're talking about, it was just like the energy at that table was kind of giving me the same energy that first season and second season gave me, but more, I say modern and more up to date, like in 2023. But these other cast members, it's like, they don't give me the same feeling. They don't give me the same emotion.
It's something about Kim and Sheree when they get together. I would love that. And then if they could get Portia back, even though she doesn't need the money, I'm like, who does Brielle have to blow in order to get Portia back on the screen? If we got Portia back to say, like, your whole daughter, and we have Sheree back to talk about She by Sheree, and then have Kenya, Candy, what am I missing? Drew can come back because I feel like she earned her peach.
I want Drew to come back.
Well, Drew's
Drew
whole
is
life imploded.
so
You can't
awful.
have her not come back now. I mean, well, like, we've been waiting.
Yeah.
Like, you plant the seeds, we need the germination of the seed. Like, it's finally all happened. Ralph's crazy ass is. I mean, this has all come to a head. Candace just dissed her on Potomac, which was so good. Like, I want to see. I think Drew's done a pretty good job. I mean, she's thirsty and kind of like that modern kind of thirst and need, which I think that the show. I think she's been pretty good on the show.
Maybe
She's so delusional. She's delusional, which really works for her, right? Like, we always say we want the Real Housewives who can't help but be like themselves. And like, actually, Drew is not necessarily herself, but herself is that she's a con artist. And so she is basically just by being fake, she's actually being her most authentic version. So there's that. But I do think that, like, Kenya is probably the best villain of all time. You could probably say that she's one of the best villains of all time on both this show. She's definitely varsity level at reality TV in general, but she's become way too complacent, and I think she needs to be put in the timeout box, unfortunately. I think that, like, I think heads need to roll, because I think the Atlanta women they're so popular and they have so much power with the network that they can, like, pick and choose what they want to film, and you just don't see that same sense of like, oh, we really got to show up the way you do on the younger shows like Salt Lake City or Miami, you know?
So you don't think that since Kenya finally got her divorce, you don't think that if we bring her back, anything is going to change with her? Like she's going to be back to being messy Kenya? Because my feelings were, okay, she was kind of like, not really the villain Kenya. She was chilling this season. But now that she is done with Mark, like for real permanently, she might be able to get back into her role without him like threatening to take away the baby and all that.
That would
Well,
be
if
nice.
that's the case, then that would be great. I've just taken it as Kenya being over it and like punching out and like just showing up for the check and being just kind of sick of the foolishness of it all, which I can only imagine you would get sick of that shit. Like people in your business, people spreading rumors about you online, people literally trying to ruin your life at all times, being a real housewife. So I figured it was that. I guess I didn't even take into consideration it was Mark because I didn't know that would ever end. Like, that went on so long. I was like, is this their kink? Like, is this their thing? Like just fighting and breaking up and then getting back together and then fighting more and then like giving away a Tesla, but then getting upset that, I don't know. There was a lot. I started to think it was hot for them.
Yeah, I think
That's their foreplay.
Yeah, there are some couples that are really all about that. But like, my only concern though is that even if Kenya comes back and she is ready, like her knives are back out again, I still feel like she will try to self-produce a little bit too much. And I think that's like the big problem with like Kenya and Candy. And like, I love Candy, but like, I think we need to like put the fear of God in some of these people to be like, look, you have to play ball and listen to the producers. Otherwise you could get fired. And like, we're willing to take out some of the big ones to do this show. Drew Sidora, bless her heart, I don't think she's smart enough to self-produce, but like she's just, so she can stay, right? Like, and she can just be deluded and she can have her like whatever her next.
She tries, but it always fails.
Yeah, I was about to say she tried with the doggy treats,
Right.
Always the props.
The props kill me.
Kaya hates that moment.
And
It
they're
really
such cheap props. Like, what, she brought like a plum this year or something? She, like stopped off at 7-Eleven and was like, I'm bringing this to the reunion.
Like, who is around her that's like, oh, girl, such a good idea. That's going to gag them. That's going to gag them. Go to PetSmart on the way to...
It's me.
You would do that. Well, okay, speaking of Atlanta, we got a little bit of Cynthia on a recent episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And did it make you at all... You too, Aaron, I want to ask you that too. Did it make you at all feel like you missed Cynthia on Housewives?
I'm a big believer in breaking up. I think sometimes we just need to be okay with breaking up. Like, I don't think we always need to have the old cast members back. Like, we were just talking about Real Housewives of New York and we're laughing our asses off. But while watching it, I was thinking like, I'm like okay with it being over in a way. Sometimes I think it's just better to be like, bye. So I don't know, but it was good seeing Cynthia on Beverly Hills. I would like to see her with that group because it's just such a different dynamic. Like, I kind of like the idea of her just telling Sutton to shut up, I like that. And I think she would.
Yeah, she's not like Atlanta vicious. I feel like she could be Beverly Hills vicious.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that like Cynthia, first of all, she hasn't quite been away long enough to have us miss her that much. She left Atlanta, then was right on girls' trip, and then it feels like it's only been like 9 months to a year. And I was nice to see Cynthia. I was like, there's Cynthia. But I wasn't like, oh my goodness, now we're gonna get some real television.
It's like
I
a
felt the
Costco
exact same
sample.
way.
You're like, I wasn't craving that, but I'll eat it. Like, I'm at Costco. Like, it's enjoyable. Who's gonna complain?
Sure, I'll have some sort of turkey fajita thing.
Aaron, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, but I was gonna agree completely though. It's nice seeing her face because every time I see her, I'm like, she's beautiful, she's stunning, but that's it. Like,
Beautiful
it's not like,
gowns.
yeah, beautiful gowns. I don't need to see a whole scene of her, and the screen flashes her so quickly. They're like, Cynthia. And then they go over to the next person, and you're like, yeah, Cynthia was there. But I'm kind of excited, which is our news that I don't know if you wanted to announce here, but she's going to be on Star's BMF.
You're right.
So
She's
I'm
going to
like-
be on BMF, which is a show on Stars that 50 Cent produces. It's not in the Power family, but it gives like you Power vibes. It's actually based on a true story of like these two brothers who sold drugs all throughout the country and then got arrested. Wow. Okay. I never explained it like that before, but it's like a really good show, you guys. And she's going to be on
You're
it.
good at log
It's-
lining it.
Well, let me do the descriptions. She's going to be on it, and someone asked us, she's like, is she going to do the Jamaican accent? And
I was
we
about
don't-
wanna know
to
too.
say, are we gonna get like a reprise of her character from Kenya's pilot?
I could hope so.
She was in, I think it was like The Stepmother, like a Tubi movie, and she wasn't like the most horrible actor there. So I'm very excited to see her outside of Housewives and outside of Tubi. Like Stars is like a huge deal.
I want to see what
Yeah.
she does. I want to see her acting career, but
Yeah.
I don't want to see her on Housewives.
I think a supporting role would be good for her, so that way she doesn't have to bring too much range. Hopefully, like a really, really supporting role, like a super supporting role.
Like she's playing like a nurse,
Lines
right?
max.
What is she playing?
Yeah, she's playing a nurse. She's actually playing Charles from the Medea movie, his wife.
His wife?
Yeah. So the cop's
Oh, okay.
wife.
The cop's wife. Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it comes out March 1st, you guys. We will be doing week-to-week coverage on BMF because we really love that show. What we won't be doing any coverage on is Ultimate Girls Trip because I am not into being called the hard R by anyone. And Ramona is there and she showed up to the freaking party for the premiere of Ultimate Girls Trip in New York, and Brandy Glanville caught wind of it, and she was like, so this means that I can come to Girls Trip. And then all of a sudden, Page Six just put out an article that was like, Ramona was not invited. So if Brandy Glanville doesn't get invited, they can always refer back to that article, but then Brandy
she
can
just
always just show
went.
up.
I thought
Did
you
you
were gonna
know
say
Ramona?
I thought you were gonna say Ramona showed up at the premiere party for BMF, and I was like, wow, wow.
No, that
Trying to repair
Imagine.
her image.
would have been something else.
I don't know. Will we have forgiven her? No, but
No, I'm
like,
not
that
gonna
would
say
be
forgiving
so-
her, but I would have.
seen it.
Well, listen, Real Housewives of New York coverage to us is not about fucking forgiveness. Ramona's trash. Ramona is trash. She's the bot. She's every argument we've been having with anybody terrible like that for years. Like, we know she's trash. We're not covering it because we're like, oh my God, Ramona's such a good person. We're covering it because she's trash. I mean, sometimes I think the best part of these shows is that they're people who are horrible. You know, sometimes when there are people that are too likable, I don't really like the show. I don't like covering it. Like,
I
I
get
can
that.
see people that I find likable in my real life. Why would
Yeah, I
need
mean,
to
I
watch
think that
TV
my
for
thing is, it's not. She just crossed a line with me that it's hard for me
Yeah,
to
I see.
want to
You don't
give
wanna
more
support
publicity
any-
to it.
yeah.
But I will be watching it because I watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm on the part where. Oh, well, that would be me covering it. But if y'all want to hear it, y'all can listen to Watch What Crappens.
You got it.
Y'all can listen to Watch
Well,
What Crappens, and a whole bunch of other people will be covering it. And we might do, like a guest spot with someone. I think the account Two Black Girls, One Rose, I believe that they are covering it, and they want to talk about it with us. So yeah, we can do that. But there's just so many things on Bravo right now that's just so delicious and actually really good TV that we haven't seen a run like this in such a long time, which brings us to what we really wanted to talk, which is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Married to Medicine, 2 of the best shows running now. Married to Medicine is by far the best show on Bravo in general, but even right now, these last 5 episodes that they've been on, insanely good. But of course, we're going to start because I brought the glasses. I have the Heather Gay Bermuda trip glasses on that
I was going to say. I was like, should I say something? Should I be like, this reminds me of the Salt Lake City sunglasses? But I was like, no, don't say it.
No, yeah,
You're a guest on the
I like
podcast.
attention. That's something about me that you need to know. Like, that's why I wore them. And I also didn't want to do my eye makeup, but I knew that like other people would come to see you guys. So I'm like, bitch, you gotta look better than a homeless person.
She is giving me Winwood.
Yes, I'm in the Winwood Walls, that butterfly picture that everyone takes in Miami.
I want to
Well,
know too, though.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, just before we get into Salt Lake City, because I heard your previous episode about the Beverly Hills music. How do you feel about the Salt Lake City music?
It is
Love it.
amazing.
That's
Love it.
amazing. That's some Grammy worthy shit there. Taking the one sample of the and just making it into every style. A few weeks ago, when they turned it into the choir country music, and they're like,
Yes.
it's like,
Sometimes
so good.
it's so good. Sometimes it sounds like a cat is walking across a keyboard. It's like, and I'm like, yes. I was like, I love this. And they put a beat on it and everything. It's so
Literally,
good.
like you feel it in your shondo. Like it's church gospel music, but like everyone can. And then I really
I'm Jewish
like
and it's
this.
converting me. It's like I'm gonna become a Mormon based off of this choir music.
I really like the music on Selling Sunset, actually. And I don't know, like no one noticed this. And I was so glad to hear you guys talk about just the music on Beverly Hills when they start putting rap on Garcelle. It's just like, I just didn't want to be that black person that's like, did y'all notice that every time Garcelle is on screen, they have some kind of like Beverly Hills rap on? But I like the music from
Bravo
Selling
is
Sunset.
so good at giving. They deliver a lot. One thing they really deliver to us is white cringe. I mean, it is a lot of cringe on Bravo because they're doing their whole like, we're so diverse now. They were like diverse for 5 minutes, first of all, okay? Then they uncanceled every person that got canceled in the first place. And then they're like, now we have Garcelle, so let's put like this white girl rapping on every single scene that Garcelle's
It's like Portia.
It's
like Portia rapping. It's like I go down to Top Golf.
Anything that's like me and my
Encino.
girls.
It's really bad rap.
They use the same, okay, so Selling Sunset uses the same band, and I don't know, like, this is my whole goal. Like, Vancouver Music, if you're out there and you're watching, come on the show, because I love their little Selling Sunset, like, very specific raps, and they use it on the Kardashians, too, on Hulu, and I'm just like, it's my dream to one day, like, I don't want to be big. I don't want to be a Beyonce. I don't even want to be a Rita Ora. I just want to have like a song that plays in the background of one of these Netflix reality shows, and I would feel like I made it. So if anyone knows Vancouver Music, that's what the caption said. I don't even know if that's a real band, but I would love them.
I go with money. There's nothing like a girl with money and power.
And I would do a music video.
Boss bitch coming through, because when you're a boss, you can be a bitch, especially when your bitch is a boss. And then like,
Wow.
my favorite is that it's
There's no sense.
It's like AI generated.
it is, and I just remember there was like one scene where this music was playing, like, I'm a boss bitch, I do what I want, you want to be me, but you can't even see me. And they were like they were at like getting froyo. And they're
My
like,
favorite.
Oh, can I get some chia seeds for that, please?
Because they were like, they were dressed in like John Paul Gaultier, going to get like, not even eating, like it was just insane. But okay,
Yeah.
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City hasn't missed this season yet. I was very nervous because, the criminal got locked up. So I'm like, okay, what are we doing? But then when they announced that Mary was coming back, I'm like, okay, this is good, but we can't have huge doses of Mary in general because you just don't know what she's going to say or do. So I've been loving the amount of like Mary that we get in the show. Like there's like waves where we forget that she's on the cast, and then she'll just have one scene with Monica, and it's like, that's why we have Mary around. And like she just has a totally like new look. It's very refreshing. But yeah, so this episode centers around Monica is supposed to like meet her family in Bermuda. As you know, if you watched that, she ended up not being able to see them at the last moment. And of all people, Lisa Barlow had to console her. I noticed that like no one else got up to console her. Like she was very visibly upset. And it was Lisa who had to like follow her into the bathroom and like see what happened. But she recently got on social media to say that it was not her mom who called her family and told them not to film. But what do you think happened there?
I think production spooked the family a little bit. I feel like probably like there were probably a lot of questions. They wanted to move furniture around, and in my mind, since it wasn't Linda, which was what I first thought it might have been, but like probably there, if the mothers, we've seen two moms on this show. We've seen Linda and we've seen Linda's mom, Nana, who's like, little quieter, please. And so I'm imagining probably the matriarch in Bermuda was in that household and production was moving sofas around and installing lights. And she's like, no more, canceled, no more.
My mom.
Yeah. Yeah,
I still
I'm
think
guessing it
Linda
was
has something to do with it.
production and just like worried maybe they weren't getting paid. Like who knows? You know, who knows how much Bravo actually does before they get there? Because I feel like in one way Bravo seems like the most organized ever, but in other ways I could imagine them just showing up and being like, "Okay, it's us. All right, everybody, comment." And they're like, "Are we getting paid for this?" Like, no. And who is this girl coming to our house that we met like maybe one time 30 years ago? Get the fuck out of my house. How about that? Get the fuck. You didn't even bring cookies? Get out.
Yeah.
No sprinkle cookies.
It is weird though. It is weird that
The
this family would not
accusations
see
of
their...
her not even having family there, I think that really goes to show you, which you didn't bring up, but there are a lot of accusations of people online like she doesn't even have family there. This is Monica being full of shit, or the cast not following Monica out. Monica is nutso. I mean, Monica has this way of dropping everything to us that makes us just be like, oh, okay. It's like, well, I fucked my brother-in-law for a year and a half. We're like, oh, okay, good for her for admitting it. Oh, yeah, well, since they can't release my mugshot, here's my mugshot. And we're like, yes, you go, girl. Or like, oh, yeah, I know Jen Shaw. I used to work for her, and then I testified against her. And you're like, you go, good for her. Anybody else, we'd be like, what the fuck? You work for Jen Shaw and then you are a rat on Jen Shaw? I feel like anyone else would have freaked us out, but Monica is such good casting and she's got such a charm about her that she could do whatever she wants. But I think the cast is like, that girl's fucking crazy and she's probably going to be fired in 2 seconds because she's too crazy. And so they're not engaging. That's what I think.
That is a good point, Aaron. Like, what did you think about this whole? Do you think it was? I still feel like it was her mom. No one can tell me otherwise. Like the way that she was pissed off in that Burberry two-piece in that parking lot when she dropped off that Range Rover. She was like, "Don't tell him it's me." Mm-hmm.
I think the whole family is against Monica, though. To be fair,
Yeah.
And why?
I think they're like, "Tell her we're gonna show up," and then we're not. Showing up.
Monica
We're
remains
actually
the only
going to
real
Chipotle.
Don't forget, Monica is the only real housewife that...
Bermuda's that sly.
Monica is the only real housewife that I know of who is being actively sued by a car wash. So she really can. She makes enemies.
But yeah,
She makes enemies.
I'm getting that from her, especially if you haven't seen your family in this amount of time. Like, there's something going on.
And she says things like every now and then she says things like when she says like, my mom won't talk to me, and like I have like no one, like my in-laws won't talk to me. I'm like, your in-laws won't talk to you because you were having an affair with your brother-in-law. Like, what? She says this as if like they just dropped her for no reason. So she does have a sly way of being like, woe is me. But you're like, I'm not sure, Monica. I'm not sure.
But also, I have to say for Monica that every time I think Monica's just full of shit, you know? She turns around and she's not really. Like in that whole conversation, that whole fight she had with her mom at the restaurant, when she's like, and then you just put me in, what did she say? You put me in the trunk or something while you were making out with a guy. I thought she was going to be like, oh my God, you're so dramatic. I kissed a guy goodnight. It was in the way back. But she didn't. She was like, oh, please, it was once.
Listen.
What? Like, I was sure that Monica was just being a drama queen. And no.
I feel like she was like, okay, but I didn't close the trunk, you know? Like, Mama got a life
We were still able to breathe. We still went to McDonald's afterwards. Like,
it's carpeted.
I got you a Happy Meal.
What more do you want?
Okay, the next big point is obviously Angie. Did you know that Angie's Greek? Are we clear on that?
Oh, really? I did not pick up on that.
No.
She's Greek. So she gets accused of being in the Greek mafia, which I did not know existed. She also pulls the Greek race card because as soon as she hears it, she's like, I'm in the mafia. Is it because I'm Greek? And I'm like, damn, I didn't know there was a Greek race card. Like that was, you know what, touche.
And then when she says,
But I
"What?
think-
A Greek person can't be successful?" You're like, "Wow,
Well,
he's really
who
Literally
said that?
nobody said that.
Every
But I
time
think
she's
they-
making these points, I'm like, yeah, well, somebody
I
needs
think
to
that
answer.
Salt Lake City is so white that anything other than like blonde and like totally like long PJ'd is considered like a completely foreign, entity. And you know what I mean? A foreign entity. It's an offshore bank to them, all of us.
yeah."
Well, okay, I have a couple of Greek celebrities, and I want you guys to tell me, do you think they're in the Greek mafia or not?
Oh, yeah, great.
Starting with Hank Azaria.
No, he
Yes.
apologizes too much.
No, I'm gonna
You're
say they're
never
all in the
He's
Greek
apologized.
mafia.
I feel like mafia wouldn't be so nice. I feel like Hank Azaria is known for being like, well, I mean, I guess they're called good fellas, but still, I don't know. No, I wouldn't say.
I think Hank Azaria is in the mafia because I received a DM earlier today from an anonymous source that said so. So it wasn't me. I didn't send it to myself. I just received it.
May she rest, but Betty White, she was a Greek. Do you think that she was in the Greek mafia?
I just learned that she was Greek yesterday.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Betty White was
Yesterday.
Greek. Betty White probably owns that shit. Yeah, she's probably runs that shit. Well,
She was-
ran it.
Angie
The last
Harmon.
She was the last surviving Golden Girl, by the way, and that does not happen by accident. Angie Hartman.
Angie Harmon. She's from Law and
Harmon.
Order.
Oh yeah,
Didn't know she was Greek.
she's married to
either.
Jason Sehorn, right?
Who is Jason Sehorn?
They
She
were
was
like a
great
couple,
on-
like
She's
on
from the
Law
Zodian
and Order.
Isles.
She is.
Okay, thank you. The confirmation from Aaron. She's in the Greek mafia. Kelly Clarkson.
oh
No.
Oh my
what?
God! Yes, you know why? Because she's got that Christmas song that's like #1 or something, and that is only the Greek mafia could do that shit for you. Christmas songs are the most annoying thing at this point. Whenever it turns into people trying, and Taylor Swift with her George Michael cover, shut up! Like every time I hear that, I just get furious.
George
guess
Michael's
to
Greek.
make, to make, huh?
George
To
Michael's
make
Greek.
a is he okay? Then he was in the
Yeah.
mafia too, and Taylor's trying to steal his shit. You see, but to get a Christmas song in this day and age to like in the top, yeah, I think you're connected. Underneath the Christmas tree,
Tina Fey.
Yes, fucking mafia.
She's too funny to be in the mafia, I feel.
Yeah, too funny. I agree.
Aaron's like, bye.
Aaron, he dropped out. He'll be back. Tina Fey. Okay, Tommy Lee.
For like as in Pamela and Pamela. Anderson.
Pamela and Tommy Lee.
Oh yeah. Oh, he definitely.
Yeah.
He's definitely like someone like. He's like a Christopher from The Sopranos, you know.
He makes
And
everybody
last but
say
not
that he
least-
has a really big penis, or they'll.
Oh, he does.
be buried
Guys,
with the
Google it or
divorce.
what? Well, no, don't watch the show. Google the Pammy and Tom sex tape, like I did. It was very surprising. And also, he just dropped it to his timeline like randomly, and I love that for him. And hey, we're talking about Tommy Lee's dick and like how big it is, because he's Greek.
I was gone for like 5 seconds.
We're already on to Link. He's
The
Greek and
last
he's
one
very
is
long.
Jennifer Aniston, which is Aaron's girl. So I'm gonna let you take.
Yes.
Do you think
Yep.
that she's in the Greek
yeah.
mafia?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
If anyone is mafia, it's her. And Jurgens too. While we're at it, fucking Jurgens.
Jurgens,
ass
I was a.
The Jergens commercial. I feel like we're treating it like Scientology. Like the Greek mafia is bigging them up to make them get all these
That
amazing
commercial
roles.
pisses me off so much, by the way.
Me too. Because come on, could you guys come up with something a little bit more believable? Jennifer does not use. Jurgens.
She's telling
Just
black
stop
people
lying
how
me.
to not be ashy while talking to a black person, and it's like the most humiliating thing because I'm like, well, why are you here? Like, why do we need you here? Why are you the middleman?
I know. Yeah. And then she goes off to Jimmy Kimmel's dinner party in Canada with like all white celebrities.
Oh my God!
She's
Who
very
commented on that?
questionable.
Where can I join your cult? Someone said on the post on that.
Nothing more like scary than an all blonde family. Okay, so they also play Fuck, Marry, Kill. And I love the chaos that Lisa is just like, she brought it up, but then she didn't want to play it. And then of all people, like you guys talked about in your episode, she says Idris Elba, but you guys can't imagine her with Idris Elba. I can actually see it. I feel like she wants to go, like she saw Heather Gay, and Heather Gay is 100% the kind of girl that dates black guys, like outside of her situation where she is talking about how bad of a Mormon she is. I think that that's what she thinks being a bad Mormon is dating black guys. But I feel like Lisa does have that interest of possibly wanting to be with a black man. So we want to play Fuck, Marry, Kill of the Salt Lake City husbands. Like, who are your Fuck, Marry, Kills of, obviously, you know, Sean, Seth, Justin, and John Barlow?
Fuck Sean.
Justin and John
Sean's
Barlow.
like that's like Sean is definitely the one you fuck, right? He's really cute.
I'd fuck all of those guys. Is that weird? I would fuck
Hey.
all of them.
The Mary is the hard one. Because
Who could you see, yourself with for
I
life?
don't know if I want. I don't know. Like I don't think I could. I don't. Not Justin. John's a little too. I actually. Who's left? There's just.
Justin doesn't do enough chores. Like we found that out on the show. Like he doesn't like to do chores, and he doesn't like doing all the carpools. That's why Whitney's like, oh my God, I am so traumatized. Justin won't do all the carpools. I'm a woman in business.
I think I have to marry Seth, which is weird because I would think he'd be the one I would kill, but
Yeah, because he's so
I just
creepy. So then who are you killing?
But the thing is, I don't want to spend the rest of my life with John or Justin. So at least Seth will be funny, and at least he's an ally to Brooks. But killing.
I would marry Sean because Sean likes a giant bed where he'll just leave your ass alone. Like he'll just let you be. You don't have to talk to his ass for years. You know what I mean? He's totally fine with it. The most annoying thing he's ever done in that relationship is play a country song. You know, it's not like the most offensive thing we've heard that he's ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. I'd marry that guy.
The
And
most
kill.
offensive thing is that he does not like the Humpty Dance. What about Robert Sr.? Is he available?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just felt like that was too easy.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I'll kill Justin as revenge for that chocolate syrup scene.
Yeah.
I would kill Justin. I wouldn't kill Cosby. I wouldn't kill him. I don't think, right? Has he done anything?
Out of the men that we listed,
I mean,
you
listen,
would.
he can run a cult. He can run a cult, so I think that's
Touche.
pretty good. I mean, that shows organizational skills and good conversational skills.
Aaron, FMK.
Better.
Oh my God, I hate this. So I guess we have to fuck Sean.
Why do you make it sound like such a chore?
Because I don't really want to do that. I would say I would marry John though, because John is very supportive of Lisa, and I like.
Yeah,
that.
he holds her
He's
purse.
gonna stand behind you.
He's a good purse holder, yeah.
And then we're killing
Wonderful.
Seth.
You're killing. Seth follows us, so thank you for that.
Well, it's the truth.
You know what? Can we say we met Seth? Seth and Meredith and Heather came to our Salt Lake City live show, and Seth was really good looking in person. It was shocking. I was like, wow. And he was actually also, by the way, he was actually really, really nice, like shockingly nice.
That's why I'd
Wow,
have to.
Ben, way to guilt.
No, that's why I have to kill him though, because I don't trust him.
So think about that as you kill him. Think about it.
Yeah, I don't trust him. I feel like he's gonna turn on me.
Yeah, like you guys brought up, he was like trying to lick Whitney's cake nipples. So it's
was
like,
bad.
as soon as you turn around, he's gonna be fucking someone else.
It's like,
But-
but he was
Well,
good
you
looking
know-
in person though.
His other thing is they don't talk about this much, but his thing when the show first started was like he was a motivational speaker. And he'd be like, hey guys, hey, thanks for joining me. Seth Marks here. Today we're going to talk about men doing better. Okay, that's what he was like trying to do this. I don't know if it was like business. It was some kind of like self-help.
It's on his
thing, which-
Instagram. If you look at his Instagram
still
posts,
is.
they're all motivational posts.
But
And I'm
it's
like,
like-
yes.
The more you guys talk, the more I'm like, you see, this is why I made this decision.
We're like, he's so
Can
nice.
we-
Now I'm like, I hate him and his stupid. I didn't know he was still doing that
Come
motivational
on.
speech stuff. Oh.
Yeah, go
Is
ahead and
Coach
see.
Shaw available for the discussion or not?
He's off the table. Like, you're trying to make things easier than they should be.
What about Heather's ex? Remember Heather's ex, who sort of like came out with like one or two episodes? He's like, I'm the ex.
Yeah,
And he's sort of
I didn't get a good look
scarecrowy.
at him, but I could
Yeah.
just tell from, like, he's just super, super, like, still in it. So I couldn't even, no, he wouldn't even look at me. So he's not gonna be in. I think for Fug, I think I would definitely do Seth because I think that he's freaky, as we see on the show. Kill, it has to be Justin. I know we have a picture with Justin, and Aaron loves
What?
Whitney.
I love Justin too.
He has to go. Like, that was
He's so
so.
tall. It would be hard to bury
but-
him.
You're gonna
Not
have
It'd
a
be
fun
hard to kill
time
him.
with Justin now.
Mary is John Barlow because he's a good purse holder. The last thing that we want to touch on with Salt Lake City is obviously Meredith is accused of spreading the rumors and the nastiness, about Angie and having like a Finsta to come to her and spread the word. But many people on Instagram brought up the really good point that no one knew that Monica was on the cast while this was filming. So why would they be sending her information on Angie or any of the cast? What are your thoughts on it? I know you wanted to defend Meredith.
Well, I think it's obvious. In one way, it's obviously Meredith, right? I mean, she looks totally guilty. She's calm as hell. She doesn't lose her mind. Normally, she loses her mind. It storms out. She doesn't. She stays calm in that turban. Like, it's super, seems obvious that it's her. But I think that Monica's smart enough to know that it's going to obviously seem like Meredith. She's watched the show. She knows Meredith is accused of this all the time. She brings it up on camera right to Meredith. Meredith looks like she does not want to be talking about that on camera. Now, I don't know. I think it could be Monica too. Frankly, I think it could be all of them because if I know one thing about these housewives, they all do that. They all do it and they all sell stories. But I don't know. I think it's between Monica and Meredith.
I would say I'm like 95% it was Meredith. I think there is a 5% conspiracy theory that Monica was framing Meredith for this. I'm not sure if Monica operates on that level. But Meredith said, I saw a clip of her saying on Watch What Happens Live, that she said that the reason why she called up Monica to talk about it was because she and Monica had been talking about it. So the fact that it like wound up in her inbox, she thought like, well, this is weird. We were just talking about this, so let me call and be like, did you get this also? So like, that's actually a pretty good excuse. But I just don't know if Monica operates on a framing level like that. Although she is being sued by a car wash, so you don't know. But I do think that, just saying, Meredith, I think Meredith, the smoking gun for Meredith is how calm she is during that dinner. That is not quite her.
Well,
behavior
another thing
when it
that, and
comes
I'm
to
sorry
things.
to add this because I've already had my turn, but another thing about Monica that makes her seem guilty to me is that when she's telling the story, she's like, and then Meredith, first of all, I could not believe that someone might be using me or framing me. That's crazy. And then Meredith was telling me, did you check your DMs? No, I didn't check my DMs. Don't lie. You were not famous. You don't have like 1 million DMs in there. We all know
That's
what it's like being
true.
bored in front of the TV and checking our damn DMs. Don't fucking lie. So I don't know.
That
I
is
mean, is
true.
it just like a partial lie? Because I don't believe that part at all. I know that's like an inconsequential part, but that's where I feel like you get in trouble for murder. You know what I mean? It's
But
those
why
little
would
details.
Monica do that?
So what
Why
I'm
would
saying is
Monica
Monica's a
frame-
murderer.
Why would Monica frame Meredith? That's the other thing that I'm not quite sure.
And to come against Angie because she hates Angie because of their original fight. So and she considers Angie being on the side of her mother, which she's never going to forgive, no matter how many times she says she's forgiven it. Considers that girl Team Linda. She's going to bring her down.
And she knows that Meredith is the most likely to be the one.
Every season she's been like the one who drops information, whether it was about Jen Shah, whether it was about Lisa SEC filing, which I'm still not sure what the fuck that was about. But every season she has something that she's telling people about, especially when it comes to like business. I don't know if I believe Meredith did it. I kind of do think that it would be Monica because it's like by any means necessary. Like she needs this housewives check. And I think that we see Monica, even when she was beefing with Lisa, she gets ahead of herself like a lot. Like, girl, you're already interesting because you fucked your brother-in-law. Like, we already have a couple of seasons of how that can play out. But I think that she just like gets so ahead of herself that she is like, what am I going to do next? And I think that is something that can hinder her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And what do you?
Agreed.
Yeah, I definitely think the
she's-
same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying. Oh my God. Go, Aaron. I'm sorry. I'm the worst.
No, I'm
like this
sorry.
all day.
I'm sorry.
We
If
talk
you
over
say
each other on
Ronnie-
this podcast, so I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter. Just don't apologize. Just say what you gotta say. Like, we really don't.
No, but I was gonna agree because I feel like I don't think Meredith, if Meredith did all of that, she wouldn't be silly enough to call Monica and just be like, "Hey, refresh your DMs real quick
Yeah.
and check," because
That's
somebody sent me this
agreed.
message and I know they sent you the same thing. Who would do that?
And of
And
all
well,
people,
Monica-
Meredith isn't. Oh, sorry. Meredith
I was
isn't
gonna say,
scared of saying it out loud. If Meredith is called on it, she says what she says. Like that SEC filing stuff, the Jen Shaw stuff. She's like, you guys, I read it on the internet. That's where I got the information.
Yeah.
And it does say that. And it does say this shit about Jen Shaw being shady and blah, 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 blah. And here's why her ass is going to get arrested. And I didn't call the FBI, but if it was that easy, I would have. You know, Meredith doesn't give a fuck. Like if they call her out, she'll say the truth. So this one of her just looking shocked and denying it, but denying it in a way that's not very energetic, makes me believe she's either covering, or I think she talks this shit with Monica about it, but actually sending emails with evidence and all of that. Who even cares if Angie's bankrupt? That's not, or owes money to the IRS. Is that really a huge thing considering they just had Jen Shaw go to prison, like legit prison?
But also look at how clunky, like the clunky way that Monica brought it onto the show. Like it was after this dinner and there was Meredith and Monica were sitting at a table and she's like, "Hey, remember that time you were saying this thing on the Greek mafia?" And Meredith's like, "Well, yeah, that was a fun time." And like Monica was very, very obvious and like, "Hey, I want to put this on TV right now." And Meredith was like, She was like, "I saw nothing. I didn't see anything."
keeping it on the low.
Yes. Did you guys see the TikTok from, what is this girl's name? I saw it on All About TRH, All About the Real Housewives Instagram. But she posted this TikTok that's supposedly by Monica's former friend. Monica's former friend calls her out for having burner accounts. And her name is Tanisha_Styles. Did you see this? It's pretty
I did
good
not see that
on the Instagram
at all.
So she's basically saying that she knew Monica. She was friends with Monica for 4 years. And I've never heard Monica talking about any family in Bermuda. However, I do know that she has an aunt in Arizona and something else. And I think she knows Heather Gay somehow. She was talking about doing confessional looks. So I don't know if she was Heather Gay's hairstylist or so. It's like you can't.
Yeah, like, okay, I was with you until she said that she knew
true.
Heather Gay.
I know. I'm already putting that out there, so it doesn't sound like I'm totally behind this lady. But she says that she knew Monica and that Monica has all these Finsta accounts and she will start all this shit and she'll do things like say, "We talked about this." Even if she was the one who brought it up to you and you didn't engage, she did technically talk about it in front of you. So she'll group you in and say, "Well, we talked about it and we did this." Just so she's not the one. Now, is this girl telling the truth? I don't know. I don't know.
I believe it.
I believe it. Like, I'm just gonna say that, and I know that it's. I mean, if she's lying, I'm sorry in advance, but I believe it as for right now because why not? And she has nothing to lose. I mean, and she's putting her face to it. Like, it's not just like a blind item, online. It's just like, I know this bitch. And
What do you think she's gaining from it? Do you think they gave her a gift card or like something?
Yes.
Okay, we spent way too much time on Salt Lake City. I do want to touch on these last 8 minutes to talk about Married to Medicine. If you guys didn't get enough Married to Medicine coverage here, we were on our friend Kendrick's Reality and Comics 2 episode yesterday where we went balls deep into everything Married to Medicine, from the show to the Carlos King interviews. So I want to refer you back to there, but I did want to bring it here, especially because this was such a monumental episode. Are you guys team Quad? In general, not before this episode, were you team Quad?
I am
Yes.
I am very torn because I love the idea of Quad, and Quad cracks me up, and I think she's so funny. But I have to sort of be on the side of the other women because I feel like it's been several years of Quad. Like, Quad goes off, she does something, and they don't hear from Quad, and then when she comes back, she's like, but what about me? And I feel like it's got to be exhausting for these women. They're like, you're a cast member, but then you won't talk to us, and then you come on in here and want us all to apologize to you, but we don't get anything back. So in the context of as a reality star, I love Quad, but I have to be on the side of the women on this issue.
I'm team entertainment, and this stuff has been going on for a long time. Quad is so good on the show. When it didn't have Quad, it was not as good. Sorry. That's period. It was not good.
That's true.
It was hard to watch it. It got to parts of the season where it was just shit. I could not watch that show. It's just too much of the same thing. And by the way, that's one of the best shows of all time on Bravo. So when I say that, Quad brings a lot to the show. Now, do I think that they're telling the truth about Quad? Yes. I think Quad does not give a fuck about them except to be on the show. But I'm fine with that. It's a show, And why is everybody okay with Heavenly? Heavenly, first of all, also Team Heavenly. I fucking love Heavenly. She's one of the funniest people on TV, but she's one of the meanest too. I mean, she really brings them down constantly. And Toya's always in a pissed off mood with somebody and always trying to bring somebody down. And they already did this to Mariah. And the fact that they're actually going to vote somebody off the island, be careful what you wish for, because Quad is very, very important to your show. You guys can pretend she's not all you want, but she made last season. And so far, every fight this season that's been worthy has been Quad. So
I don't know, but I feel like the cast right now is actually, I think this is the best cast they've had in years. And I think that the chemistry.
Even Dr. Alicia?
She is so impactful.
she hasn't done anything yet, really.
Remember that episode? Remember that episode when Toya was showing off her wines, and literally all Dr. Alicia said the entire time was hey, this is a whole look. And that was it. It was 3 lines. I was like, who is this lady? But I think Letitia and Phaedra coming in, there is an energy, and also getting rid of Vanilla. There's an energy that's you just know when a cast is right. Oh, and Dr. Contessa, yeah, that was. I liked Contessa her first season, but
humorless.
Oh my God, Contessa drove me nuts.
Contessa.
I like Contessa.
Human being. I was so glad she was gone. I was like, bye, goodbye.
The
Cast
best
chemistry
scenes,
is
though.
so hard. Yeah.
The best.
The best Contessa scenes were her getting hit. You remember when it was her kid's birthday party?
Oh, it's just you hit my titty.
And then they hit her. And then it was another time. It was just so many things in her nanny. I think those were the most.
Oh my God, the nanny.
Parts.
I thought early season Contessas were good, but later seasons I thought she got exhausting.
I feel that for sure. Did you guys watch the Carlos King interview?
I did not see it.
Okay, so to put everything in perspective, you guys, I'm just gonna you guys know that we're Team Quad over here. We had a great time buying and tasting her seasoning, and we really love her. I want to preface that with that. You guys know this. Absolutely Quad. That is, just put that on my ass. But Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King went live, and we got a lot of context to what led up to that and why it happened. And it didn't change me from being Team Quad, because I still, right or wrong, when she leaves, they are always asking, the fans are always asking, where is Quad? So she is the show, make no mistake, especially when Mariah's not there. It's like, it can't just be Dr. Heavenly and Toya. It has to be, you need a trio. So Carlos King was able to get the tea from Heavenly, and the producers definitely hit up Heavenly after and was like, can you not do that anymore? I don't know if we'll be seeing as many truthful.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, but it was good while it lasted.
Yeah.
She said that Quad would be late all the time, which is, it's not surprising or groundbreaking, but in that setting, you can't be late because they're actually like learned doctors. Like, these bitches got to go to save a life after. So we're waiting for Quad to go and get her hair installed. Like, that is literally a big deal. She said that she's also cussing out production. They also said that Quad and Toya at the funeral home, the last episode, the fight was like really bad to the point where they had to kind of not even, we saw it, they didn't show how bad it got. Because I feel like there was a disconnect of like, why are they so mad at Quad? Quad told them to kiss her ass. She's just there for the check. She don't even want to film with them. She's not friends with them. And she's not emotionally attached with them. And this is what happened behind the scenes at the funeral home or whatever the fuck that was. It was
May I
just
interrupt
so
for
funny.
1 second? May I interrupt for 1 second? I
Yeah,
just
of
want to
course.
say that whole thing right there, that is a vibe that I feel like I've picked up from Quad for several seasons now. And that's why I say, like, I enjoy the idea of Quad and I think she's so funny, but like, I'm with the women on this one because I pick up the sense that she is, ever since the Sister Circle especially, she has felt like she's on a different level and she's like coming to visit and give her star power to the show. And I've always felt that through the TV show. But anyway, continue on.
No, many people would agree, especially because she kind of said it when she was like, these are my family. And I'm like, Trina Braxton, like, okay. And then they also said that Quad brought up others' bag. Like, she was trying to, when she was negotiating, obviously that's why we didn't see her the first parts of the season. She was saying that Dr. Jackie's not more of a star than her and they should not be making the same amount. So she was also, and production went back and told them about it. And I'm like, production, please. Like, how would you, I can understand, trying to get some mess going, but these girls don't need help with that at all, especially something like on that level to talk about the salaries. That's kind of messy on production's end. And thank you for the candle. We love y'all. Shout out to production. But that was a huge mistake. And then the last thing that they said is that, Heavenly said, is that Quad it's up to her whether she will return next season. They gave her 4 episodes, then they gave her 8 episodes, but she didn't show up to filming. And the next episode is probably the last episode we'll see her in, but then she'll come back on the finale. So they're saying it's totally up to Quad whether she will be on this show or not. And the other thing that they said, non-related, is that Phaedra called production to tell Heavenly and all the girls not to ask about anything to do with her life. So you cannot ask about Apollo. You cannot ask about Candy. She wants to talk about what she wants to talk about. And while I think that Phaedra is an amazing addition to the show, it's kind of like not fair to do that. And I don't know why she feels comfortable to do that.
This is also my thing with Phaedra, is that like, I enjoy Phaedra. She is so funny. When at the funeral home, she was like praising everyone, like, we have vaginas, teeth, an expert in tennis. I mean, she is so funny, but like, she is totally impenetrable. Like, it feels like she doesn't have normal conversation. She's just like smiles, goes, oh yes. Like, you don't get like, you don't feel like
charm
people have talks. Yeah, exactly. Imagine she's secretly the singer, but like, you can't get into her. And so I've always felt like that was difficult with Phaedra for years, but she's so funny that like, you sort of give it a pass to a certain extent.
Well, I guess my question for that would be, why would someone have a choice? Like, you can tell production, don't ask me about my family, don't ask me, but why would production listen? I think that's a huge problem with production. The whole point of production is to kind of manipulate people and make them look stupid in the end. And I think if production is being bossed around by anybody like that, then that's their own fucking fault. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, the best thing about Phaedra was watching her get caught in her mess. I understand her not wanting to talk about Atlanta. Like, if they're going to kick her off that show, which they should have. Like, I think that that's fair. But if they kicked her off that show and they won't let her back on, and they let Candy have all this power and say she's never coming back on because of what she did to me, then I don't think it's fair that she should be dragged onto another show to relitigate it and have Heavenly yelling at her about what happened with Candy. I don't think that's fair. But I think everything else in her personal life, if you're going to come on TV, that's what you fucking get, lady. Like, why else would you be here?
Her and Quad both like are pretty much like I said yesterday, it's the same vein of there are certain people you don't have to have a husband to be on Housewives. You don't have to be a housewife. So I guess you don't really have to be married or dating medicine to be on Married to Medicine. But it's nice that if she was, which Phaedra Four-Time was dating a cardiologist, we should have seen him and not just the emoji pic. Like, I want to see what this dude at least looks like. And if she's dating a new doctor, I would like to see the new doctor. And
we're never going to see it.
It's just never going to happen.
Maybe they like give Phaedra that this season. They say, okay, because they want to bring. It's like people have been really up on Phaedra the past 2 years. Everyone's been wanting to talk. Everyone's been like, bring Phaedra back. You know, she was on Dubai. She was on Girls Trip. You know, this was a good place to plug her in. So maybe they give her that concession, especially because you know, I really struggled with Married to Medicine the past 2 or 3 years because you know, you had Anila on there. It just was not the cast. To me, it was like retreading a lot of let's go to a beach and talk, have like this Simone leads couples therapy. It was like vagina parties. It was always the same thing, and so I was like, okay, this is good. It's gonna like re-energize this cast, bring Phaedra on, get rid of Anila, get rid of Contessa, bring Letitia on. But I think that maybe after this season, maybe Phaedra loses some power because the cast is so strong that if Phaedra doesn't play ball, then they can probably get rid of her, to be honest.
Yeah, but part of the reason the cast is strong is because of Quad and Phaedra. I mean, the cast was flailing a little bit last season. And Letitia too. I think Letitia's really great casting. But the cast was flailing a little bit, so I don't know about this. Like, I don't know. It makes me nervous. I love Quad. Don't get rid of Quad. I don't care.
Yeah, I just want Quad there.
Quad bought her own Lexus and had it delivered to her party, and then gave a speech about how inspirational she was to herself. And then she cried when she got her Lexus that she gave herself.
I love that. Like, that is top tier. And then her monologues. Like, it's just
oh my god,
Tyler Perry monologues.
I loved at the end of the funeral episode when she was telling, I forget what the specific word she was saying to Dr. Jackie, but she was saying something like, "This is fix things, right?" And Dr. Jackie goes, no. No. And just walks out the door like,
Dr. Jackie. Okay, that's the only one where I'm like, I understand if you're not fucking with Quad, because she brought up Dr. Jackie during salary negotiations. Like Aaron said.
Yeah, that would piss me the hell off. Like,
yeah.
No, you didn't.
Now, do I agree? Yes or no? I won't say, but I will say that if I was Jackie, I'd be pissed off that she said that she was a
lot
bigger
of
star
people
than
are saying too that Jackie is a staple in a sense because she gives the professionalism of being a doctor. Like, you know, the other women are involved in the mess, and then I think Simone kind of falls in the middle.
Absolutely.
But Dr. Jackie is like, she's leading the pack.
I mean, she's literally talking to like the vice president, and for Quad to be like, "I'm the biggest star, like I'm bigger than Dr. Jackie."
Well,
I don't know. In pop culture, maybe Quad is bigger, but Dr. Jackie has actually a huge influence. She appears on all these other shows. She has
in real life,
and in real life, I mean, she is she's like incredibly accomplished, and she's also gotten out there in a broad way that like Quad hasn't. And like Dr. Jackie is like, I think, actually incredibly essential to the show.
It's just hearing all this about Quad. I feel like Quad, when she had the Band-Aid over her face, it's too much. Like, I'm not okay.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
But okay, we have talked too much about both of the shows. Like, I really appreciate you guys being here, and instead of doing like our pot stir, I think we just want to get to know you in like a quick 5-minute just time frame, because we did ask our Patreon members what they wanted to know about you guys, and they wanted to know, how did you guys start the podcast, and how do you know each other, and how did you get so far? Because you guys are to the point where it's not just a a podcast. You have like the Crappies, you have live shows. We're huge fans of that, and you are big inspirations, and we can't believe that you agreed to come on. I mean, I know y'all was late, but I really appreciate the fact that you even, decided to just hop on, because I know that you were recording. How did it all start, and how'd you get here?
Well, thank you.
Ronnie, why don't you
first
take
of
that
all.
one?
That's crazy. Well, first of all, a lot of that is just because we're old. So, not to like completely shit on ourselves, but a lot of it is just because we've been around since podcasting started. But basically, we met because TV. Ben started a really funny TV blog with his friend Joe called TVgasm. And it was ragging on these TV shows for like 10 pages at a time, like really just ruthless comedy blogs. And when I was waiting tables, one of my friends was like, "Oh my God, your personality is so shitty. You should read these blogs. Like, you'd love it." And when I would read these every day, waiting tables, like before we open, I would go read these recaps because they were just so funny. And I don't know, that's the first time I'd ever read somebody or heard somebody commenting on their own lives and making all these jokes just about what they watch on TV. And so I entered like a contest to be a writer on this thing, on this site, TVgasm, and I won it. So I ended up doing that, and Ben sold the website right after, and I ended up taking it over. So that's how I originally know Ben. Like, Ben gave me my whole kind of life in doing this stuff.
Ben was
you
the
did not win a
blogs.
contest. But you did not win a contest, because that makes it almost seem like you pulled a number or whatever. Like, it was actually, we were looking for writers, and he submitted a sample, and Ronnie's sample was hilarious. So we're like, we want to bring him on board. So yeah, Ronnie came on board with that. And then a few years later, I was hired to host a web show called Housewife Hoedown. And it was like a weekly show on it wasn't even on YouTube. It was on something called Ustream, I think. And I had to have guests every week. So I was like, well, Ronnie's really funny. I know him through TVgasm. So I started bringing him on and other people on, and just had like great chemistry with Ronnie and a third person named Matt. And so that web show went down, like the whole network, folded. And so we're like, well, we want to keep on going. So we're like, why don't we try doing this as a podcast, and let's make it more than just Housewives. Let's make it all of Bravo. So we started Watch What Crappens, Ronnie, Matt, and I. After the first year, Matt left, and that was like 2012, and we were just talking into microphones, and yeah, right place at the right time, and we just rode the wave of podcasts.
And if this
That's
tells
so
you
dope.
anything, our first episode of Watch What Crappens that we recorded, we didn't record it. We forgot to press record. Right? So we did the...
No, we pressed record. The file got corrupted. There's the three of us. The file.
That's what happened with our interview with Billy Lee. We had an interview with Billy Lee, and it just I don't know what happened to the interview, but it was like a really good interview, and she was very nice. She's very into human rights, and like she's a vegan, and we even got some vegan recipes, but we just don't know where that freaking episode is.
God.
But okay, so then how did you just tell me a little bit about like the first live show?
Who suggested that, Ben? You did, right? I think Ben was like,
at Improv Olympic.
Yeah, I think Ben was like, let's do a live show. First of all, I thought podcasts were stupid. I was like, who's going to listen to anything? It doesn't even make any sense. Like, who's going to want to listen to the radio on their phone? I just didn't understand why it would even be a thing. And so we ended up loving it. And then Ben, I think, also said we should do a live show. I've heard of podcasts doing a live show. And I was doing improv at Improv Olympic in LA. And so we did it for, I think, like 7 people over there for our first time. And the first night we did it, it was a girl waiting on us at the restaurant down the street from American Idol. What was her name, Ben? She ended up becoming a waiter at that Irish restaurant, Michaela.
Yeah, yes, I totally forgot. Like that's right. That was the sign. Yeah, she recognized us, but then you're talking about Michaela. No, I thought you were talking
from American
Idol.
Idol.
Michaela. Yeah, and now she has a podcast. I think I've seen her do some stuff.
Shout out to Michaela.
Gordon. So yeah, we did that live show for like 7 or 10 people, and it was really fun, even though there's only 10 people. And for a while, we did these like little shows. We did some at like the Improv for like 50 people. It was fun, and did one at a festival. Like we're put in the back corner. Like everything was in this one area of a hotel. We had to go over like a bridge through the lobby. We were just like shuffled to the side. And then the first proper big show, we booked something in New York City at the Gotham Comedy Club. And we're like, well, let's see how this goes. And it sold out like in 6 hours. And that was like a room, like it's like I think 220, 230 people in that room, which was way bigger than anything we'd ever done. And we're like, oh my God. And then I'll always remember walking into that room and like a packed room, a comedy club, and everyone was on their feet and like cheering and so loud. And the comedy club told us that they had never heard like anything as loud as that ever before at the Gotham Comedy Club. And it was just like this wave of sound and excitement. And we're like, oh my God, this could actually, it was a moment where we were like, this could be like a thing for us, like doing proper
You
live
guys know
shows.
that feeling of like the Bravo people all being together in a room? Like it's crazy. Like we all go fucking crazy. And that was the first time because I love doing comedy and live show, comedy shows like improv and stuff like that, musicals. So, but this was my first time. I had no idea. I just had no idea. Just to hear people laugh in real life was so amazing, and I've been addicted ever since. Like I don't care how many people are there. Sometimes our live shows do really well, and sometimes they do like less well just because we're out all the time, So sometimes if we go back to a city 2 times and it doesn't sell as well the second time, it's still the same thing. Like anybody being there, you guys know what it's like working with just one person. We love each other and we're best friends, but we're used to each other. Like we crack each other up all day, but like to actually know that there's other people there, it feels like us just talking on the phone is what I mean, So
yeah,
it's really cool.
And the live shows are like, we discovered very quickly that the live shows really became like, we're more than just like, oh, it's us doing a podcast live. It really was like a chance for people to come together around the same interest, because it's so hard now. Everyone is watching a different TV show. There is no more water cooler that everyone gathers around at the office. Like there's not even an office anymore for most people. So like to find other people who are watching the same TV shows as you, who want to laugh at the same people and want to make fun of the same people and want to roast the same people and who want to like excoriate the same people, like to be able to come together in a theater, whether it's BravoCon, whether it's one of our shows, whether it's any other like Bravo podcast show, like it's so exciting that we all get to come together. And we started to realize these shows, what's so fun is like, it's just a chance for like Bravo fans to come together and just go wild.
That is actually super inspirational because we have that same, it's just us, like we're best friends from high school and we just started this in the pandemic, and we've been able to like go to BravoCon and meet amazing people online who talk about the same things that we do, and actually have people who tune into the show. So we can only hope that one day we'll be as successful and cool and, honestly, like I love like you guys' friendship and the way that you play off each other so well in the episodes, from the impressions to the jokes to even when you guys disagree, it's not in like a visceral way, which I've heard on a couple of podcasts. So thank you so much for coming on, and we should be on your show soon, so you guys tune into that. But obviously you can find them at Watch What Crappens. But do you have anything coming up that you want to advertise before we go?
Well, we are doing the Crappies, and we haven't announced the date yet, but the date has been booked, and the tickets are going to be going on sale sometime soon. What we found is the simple act of just putting on a show and release and saying tickets are going on sale is actually not so simple. There's a lot of moving parts, but we're hoping to have that announcement sometime soon. But it is going to be early in the new year, so everyone keep your eyes and ears open for that, because we're hoping to have a really fun show, really fun crappy show, and then we're going to hopefully go back on tour again later in the year.
And also, you guys, thank you so much for being so nice to me at BravoCon. It was so fun hanging out with you. Being there without Ben, I've never gone to a thing like that without Ben. Like, we always are there together. We always have each other. And you guys were so nice to me. And it was so good to hang out with you and be on a text thread and just, like, know where everybody was and, like, what everybody... So thank you. Thank you for taking
Thanks for taking care of my Rondel.
Listen,
Like,
Your skits were so funny that you weren't at BravoCon, but you pretended that you were. Like, I would live for those every day, and I had so much fun with you. But I guess we'll do it here. So you follow Aaron, Ronnie, because we follow you from our personal.
not.
No, let's do it because I want to know if you had
who do
fun
have
with
to
me.
follow? Tell us right now.
This is for Ronnie because Ben, you know, I didn't follow you from my personal, I don't think, but you follow Aaron immediately, and you spent like 0.2 seconds with Aaron. I follow you,
Oh, I'm
and you don't follow me back.
I'm gonna
So
tell you why.
did you
though.
have fun?
On what?
I'm-
On
It's
Instagram?
It's at _K Wilson, but I just want to answer first. So, did you have fun with me?
I've been following you. I've been following you. I just want you to know I've been following you for all of 5 seconds now. So I think that's
I
longer than
appreciate
Ronnie.
that, Ben,
So
because
longer than
I've been
Ronnie.
following Ronnie, and I just don't understand.
Let me follow again.
Right?
I don't... Listen, I'm like
I'm
a
not
dad.
following Aaron to balance it out a little bit.
I'm like a dad. I come on here, like I'll post some stuff occasionally, but I'm on here to read trash talking about Bravo shows. So I'm always on the Watch What Crappens account. And I just love to read people like being really mean to Bravo people. It's like all I read are Bravo jokes. So hold on. I'm remedying. Sorry.
I just wanted to
I just
put
have
you in
one thing to
uncomfortable.
say. I just have one thing to say about us being on this podcast, and that is, thank you. You're welcome.
Listen,
That is fair. That is such a fair sentiment, and we really appreciate it, you guys. And you guys can follow us, obviously, at Bravo While Black, or subscribe to our podcast at Bravo Weird Black. And please give us a 5-star rating and review. Anything other than 5-star, just DM us, cuss us out. Say whatever you want, but just in the DM. Just don't do that in the review section, okay? We take criticism very well, especially when you bring it to the DM. But as far as Apple, Spotify, 5 stars, head to our Patreon, patreon.com/Bravo While Black, and follow us on Threads, which we've been posting like a lot on. Not to brag, but we got a lot of followers on Threads, like 7K followers on Threads now.
Right.
And we've been talking to you guys, so follow us on
I
Threads
should
at
think
Bravo
that's
While
my
Black.
Christmas tree. Like, it's personal.
Yeah, Aaron is very
Okay.
active on Threads too now. Aaron, is there anything that you want to add?
You know what? Over the weekend, I started posting on Threads out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. I was just like, I'm gonna start posting memes on Threads.
It's
real
hot.
It's the movement. It's the retrograde, and it's the movement.
It's
But you know what,
there.
though? By the way, in general, we need to help out Bravo on Threads, because I was like, I posted something for like Bravo Threads, and it was the 8th only thing. Like, I was like, how am I contributing the 8th thing ever to like a big hashtag?
This is because they just introduced
Yeah, they
tags.
just came out with the tags.
Oh, did they? Oh,
Yeah, like
okay.
literally like the other day.
Yeah.
Gay Threads is the worst, by the way. Be careful of that one. That is
Listen,
like, Gay Threads is
I
just
know.
like people smiling at the camera.
But thank you guys
Hi,
so
I'm
much
Ben.
again for coming on and joining us. Like, we've been waiting for this.
a long time coming. All right, well, bye guys. We'll be back with the pop culture episode on Wednesday. This is coming out on Saturday, but for Patreon, it'll come out tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.
A Huda Media Production.